Hi, good morning. I would like to talk to you this morning about two things. First of all, a very important project which we have for youth formation. And the second moment, I would like to invite you to be a partner with us in this very important work for youth formation. Let me present myself. I am Father George Boran. I was born in Ireland, and I have been living here and working here in Brazil for almost half a century. I am a Holy Ghost missionary, and I am the founder and the coordinator of this National Youth Centre. This centre, we have different areas, fronts in which we work, and I would like to talk to you about the main one, which is that of leadership formation. And we have got quite extraordinary results. We are located here in São Paulo, which is a big, one of the largest cities in the world. With Greater São Paulo has more than 17 million people. And the difficulty is, how do we get our youth people in this very concrete jungle? We also work on national level. We're present in over 210 dioceses aquí in Brazil. And we're also present in 8 countries in Latin America. Our courses have a universal appeal. They have been given in Brazil, different Latin American countries, also in Africa, in the United States, in the Philippines, in Ireland, in England, in Germany, and also in the Ukraine. The manuals and books that give support for the courses have been translated into Portuguese, English, Spanish, German, and Ukraine language. Now, talking about the results we get, at the end of each leadership training course, people do an evaluation, and most young people say, we have been transformed. We are leaving this course different people. And the young people leave the course with greater self-confidence, a capacity to communicate with other young people. They are better able to organize their ideas. They're more aware of their surrounding society and so on. A capacity to form very deep emotional bonds with other young people, which is very important in terms of continuity. Also, they have new skills of how to coordinate a meeting, how to plan, how to involve other young people. And we also work from a faith dimension. So a faith that is linked with real life and linked with social reality around them, and the gospel which is liberating. Now, what is the secret? How do we get those young people? And the secret is just 2 words. We train trainers. We give the courses and then we select some of the young people, we train them, and they give the course to others. In this way, we're able to reach a huge amount of people in Brazil and in Latin America. We believe that the best apostle of other young people are young people themselves. Young people have a capacity to motivate, to communicate with other young people, to involve other young people that we don't have. And that's our secret. We train trainers. So what happens when those courses are over? The young people go back to their youth groups, their communities, and their social movements. And we only take people who are part of some organization, so we have a guarantee of continuity. We work with National Youth Ministry here in Brazil, which has 10,000 youth groups in different parishes around the country. And when those youth go back to their groups, they bring new life. There's tremendous growth in the groups and in the organization, in the network. And one of our aims is also to work for a better world, a better society, to help the poor. Brazil, for example, has huge social problems. It's the 10th country in the world with the worst distribution of income. 6 very rich people in Brazil have an income which is bigger than 100 million people in Brazil, which means almost half the population, the poorer people, which is half the population. So how do we distribute income? That is so that Brazilian society becomes a society of inclusion, not exclusion. There's also the question of violence. Young people suffer a lot from violence. 187,000 people, young people, have been assassinated between 2002 and 2012. So these are the social problems, some of the social problems. So how do we help the poor in this situation? There are 3 ways. One way is to give a fish, and this is sometimes necessary when people are hungry. But there is a problem the following day, they are hungry again. So second way is to teach young people to fish. And we do this in our courses. We empower young people. We give them the skills for transforming their environment, for leadership, and so on. But again, there can be a problem. How do you fish if the river is polluted? And we live in a society, a very unequal society, which excludes so many people, where the poor find that they're playing in a game where the rules are against them and they can't win. So there's need to change the rules. The World Bank has made a very important observation. All the third world countries who have moved up to become first world countries had one thing in common. They had strong civil societies. So people in civil society were aware of their rights and what was going on around them, and demanded transparencies from their leaders and refused to accept corrupt practices by corrupt politicians. So these are the 3 ways we try and help the poor in Brazil with our courses. We come now to the second part of our message. I would like to invite you to become a partner in this very important project of formation of young people. And we all believe that Jesus Christ has called us all individually to be disciples and to go out in mission. But it's very difficult for you to be part of this mission physically, but there is a very important way you can be part. You can help us. You can give a donation, which will help pay our bills and help us to reach more young people. We are in a country which has 47 million young people between 15 and 29 years of age. We are working with 400 facilitators around the country giving the courses, and this number is continually increasing. And they are all volunteers. All the work we do is we work with volunteers. And they are young people who say, my life has been transformed. I want to transform the lives of other young people. And they come from the poorer classes. They have to work in order to help their families and to pay for their studies. And they still find time to give themselves to forming the new generation. I like to use the example of war. We are in a war between good and evil, between justice and injustice. And, you have some people in the trenches and working very hard, and then you also have the supply line. And in a war situation, if the supply line doesn't work, well, then everything collapses. So you are very important. I know you probably have very little time, so that's why we have decided to make it easy to make a donation. You are now in our site and in the page for donations, and you see everything is very easy. You just make a click and you can make a donation through a credit card or through a debit card, or you can make a transference, or you can deposit in one of our accounts. And you can just a once only donation, or you can pay something every month. It can be something small, it can be something bigger. But we would like to thank you for your attention, for listening to our message and the explanation of the work we are doing. And may God bless you and may God bless your family. Thank you.